everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I've got some DIYs to share with you for Easter that you can leave up year round. I've got some tablescape ideas for you, things that you can make real quick to decorate your Easter table. And if you stay around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to set up my table for our Easter dinner. So if that interests you, I hope you stick around. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And be sure and give me a big thumbs up because it really does help my channel. For this first one, I'm taking a 14-inch round wooden disc that I got on Amazon, and I'm taking some folk art cottage white chalk paint, and I'm just going to paint the front of this. After I paint the front of this, I'm going to go ahead and paint the sides, and when that dries, I'm going to go ahead and paint the back. Okay, and if you want to speed up the drying process a little bit, grab an embossing gun. It works really well. Next, I'm taking some folk art Parisian gray paint. I'm just going to put it in a little bowl, and I'm going to spritz it with a little water to thin it down a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab a paper towel and a chip brush, and I'm going to distress my board. Now make sure you use a paper towel. You want to get as most of the paint off of your brush as you can before you start distressing it. Okay, just kind of dab it on your paper towel and then just go in one direction. Now make sure you stay in the same direction because it does look better if the lines are all going in the same direction. And you can add as much or as little as you want to. I'm going to kind of speed through this process. But the main thing you want to do is get most of the paint off the chip brush as you go. Now, if you get too much, you can put a little bit of spritz of water on there and it will smooth out. And then I'm going to go around the edges and darken them up all the way around. That dries, I'm taking some heavy duty gauge wire. You could use a coat hanger if you want to. But I'm just going to make some bunny ears. So just kind of get them however big or how small you want them. But I wanted them to be at least half of this board. And I'm just going to go ahead and bend it right there to make my point. I'm just using some pliers. And then I'm going to come down all the way down to the bottom and meet the end. And then I'm going to cut it off. And then you can just start shaping these into the shape of an ear. And you're going to make another one exactly the same way. So I'm just going to cover these with some jute wire. I'm going to start right at the bottom, glue it down, and then I'm going to just wrap this around all the way from one side to the other, and then I'm going to glue it off at the bottom. Just make sure you get your jute as tight as you can because you don't want to see the wire underneath it. And this really didn't take that long, and once you get this side done, do the other side exactly the same way. Okay, and I'll give you a link for all the supplies I'm using in this video. You can get them on Amazon, and they're priced pretty good. And on the boards, I think you get 10 in a pack of those. And then once you get that glued down, go ahead and make sure that you don't have any frays, but this is going to be hidden by some leaves, so don't worry so much about the glue showing. And then make your other one exactly the same way. But you do want to make sure you have no space between them. Okay, and you do want them to kind of match, so if you have to shape them at this point, go ahead and get them shaped similar. Okay, next I'm just going to take a ruler. I'm going to lay it out here, kind of line them up a little bit, kind of eyeball them. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick them up and I'm going to glue them down. Now, I'm not putting this one outside. If you're going to hang this on your door, on your front door or something like that, I would go ahead and use a little bit of E6000 glue along with the hot glue. But this is going to be inside at my house. And then to keep my spacing on these, I'm just going to take a Jenga block, put it up at the top part of that ear, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue the other one down. And I did add quite a bit of glue on this. Okay, next I'm taking a lamb's ear garland that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's in the wedding department, and if you watch, it goes on sale pretty often. And I'm just going to cut a bunch of the leaves off of this to use for this. And I'm using mostly the big ones and then some of the medium-sized ones. Okay, then I'm just going to come right at the front and just put one leaf on each side just to start off. And then I'm going to start attaching leaves underneath it until I get it as full as I want it. So I'm going to kind of go fast on the gluing process, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Kind of making it a headdress for the bunny ears. And you could use any kind of greenery that you want or any kind of flowers that you want. Just kind of dress it up like you want it. And you could add a saying to it. If you have a cricket and you want to cut out a saying, it'd be cute with some kind of a saying added to it as well. But I'm just doing mine kind of pretty simple. Okay, then I'm going to add a couple little flowers right to the front part, and then I'm going to add a third one right above them. This was a real quick and easy project, and I think it turned out super pretty. Okay, that's how that one turned out. I'm just leaning it up against my cutting boards in my kitchen. Let me know what you think in the comments. This next one, I'm taking these wooden egg cutouts that I got on Amazon, and I'm taking the folk art Parisian gray chalk paint, and I'm going to paint the front, the sides, and the back. And I put about 2 coats on these. And some of the things I'm making today, I'm going to use in my tablescape, and if you stay till the end, I'll show you exactly how I'm going to set up my table. After you let the front and the sides dry, go ahead and turn them over and definitely do the back. You want to make sure you do the back too. It just does finish it out nicely. Next, I got these little bunnies at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to paint these with the Folk Art Adirondack white chalk paint. And I'm going to paint the front and the sides. I'm not going to do the back because I am going to glue those to those eggs. And these did take about 2 coats to get these completely white. So I'm going to dip the tip of my paintbrush, the bottom of it, in the paint, and I'm going to make polka dots on my eggs. Just kind of randomly space them, but you do want to make sure you get a pretty good bit of paint on your paintbrush to do these. And I'm going to do all 4 of the eggs like that. Next, I'm just going to take a paper towel. I'm going to dip it into that same gray paint, and I'm just going to distress the edges of it just to kind of give it an outline on the edge. And I'm going to do that to all 4 of mine. It just gave it a little bit more definition once we put them on the egg, and you'll see when I lay it up there here in a little bit. Just kind of get right around the edge so you can still see it on the edge and on the top part. Next, I'm going to use 4 of these little flowers. I got these at Michael's in the paper craft section, and I'm just going to glue these to the rabbit's ears. I'm also going to take some jute, and I'm going to go ahead and tie a little bow, and I'm going to put this right on the facing of each one of the rabbits. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue my rabbit right down to the egg, and just make sure that you get it all the way down to the bottom so it is even. And then I'm going to attach my little bow, and then I'm going to put my little flower on there on the ear. These were pretty simple, and I'm going to use these in my tablescape. Okay, these turned out super simple. You could even use these on a tiered tray. You could actually gift them. They make super cute gifts. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, next I'm taking a 7-inch by 5-inch plaque and 2 5-gallon stir sticks, and I'm going to cut one at 8.5 inches and one at 11 inches. Now that's not what I did in the picture, but that's what I ended up having to cut it down to after I finished. And they're going to go like that. The 8.5 is going to go across. Then I got some grapevine, and I've had this for a while. You can get it on Amazon. It's just regular grapevine, and I'm going to cut off a piece of it to make a crown. And mine ended up being a 5-inch circle. Okay, next, so that I can shape it, I put this in some hot water and I just kind of let it set for a while, and then I flipped it over and let it sit on the opposite side as well, and just until it softened up. And it didn't take that long. Then you can go ahead and start shaping it into a circle. And then I'm going to take some brown wire, floral wire that I have, and I'm just going to go ahead and attach the end of this to this other one. Okay, so it ended up being 5 inches, and I'm just going to wrap it with some wire. This piece of wire actually came off the roll, but then I'm going to take some more of the floral wire that I have, and I'm going to attach it to the opposite side just to hold it all together real well. Next, I'm going to take 2 little cubes, and I'm going to glue this to the bottom of my stick. Now, I'm doing it on the side that has the markings on it. And then just go ahead and make sure they go all the way to the bottom of it, and that's what's going to make it stand up once we put it on our plaque. Just kind of make sure that they do go all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to take my cross part, the 8.5-inch one. I'm going to come and find the center point on that. And then I'm going to come down 3 inches from the top part of the other part of the cross, and that's where I'm going to glue it. Now, this is not 11 inches in my hand. I had to cut it off later, so I'm showing you the one I did that was longer, but you do cut that long one down to 11 inches. And then just kind of center that up so the top part of your board is going to be 3 inches from the top part of that cross. Okay, to paint this, I'm going to use the Parisian gray again that I used earlier. I'm going to pour a little bit of it in a cup, and then I'm going to add a little bit of a black just to kind of mix it with it because I did want like a darker gray. And I'm just going to get that mixed up real well. And it was a little bit thick, so I did spritz it with a little bit of water just to kind of loosen it up a little bit. And I'm just using a round chalk paintbrush, and I'm going to paint the front, the sides, and the back, and then I'm going to paint the base exactly the same color as well. It took 2 coats to get this completely covered. Okay, next I'm coming in with some white paint, and I'm going to go ahead and dip it into the paint with my chipboard, and I'm just going to go ahead and distress this. I'm going to distress the base and the cross itself. And I'm distressing it pretty good. And kind of get the edges of the, where they're raised on the platform. And then the sides as well, and do the same thing with the cross. Just try to get most of your paint off of it, off the paintbrush before you start distressing it. Next, to attach the cross to the platform, I'm just going to put some E6000 glue on the very bottom of it, and I'm just going to center it onto that plaque. And then just set it aside and let it dry really good before you mess with it again. Okay, next I got this barbed wire on Amazon, and it came with these gloves to kind of protect your hands. And I'm just going to cut it into a 5-inch round circle with a little bit overhang to attach it. And believe it or not, those gloves worked really well. You didn't even feel the barbed wire when you're playing with it. Just kind of measure it and then go ahead and cut off a piece, and then we're going to shape it. And then I'm going to use wire to attach them, the 2 ends together. Next, I'm going to go paint this with some Rust-Oleum Oil Rub Bronze paint. And then I'm just going to attach it with that same floral wire that I attached to the grapevine wreath. Just kind of put it where it's real snug, and then go ahead and wrap your wire around it. And I'm going to wrap my wire around in a couple of places. Okay, next I'm going to take a boxwood garland that I got on Amazon, and I'm just going to double it up, and then I'm going to twist it so it's like one piece. And then I'm going to start right up underneath the cross part of the cross, and I'm going to spiral it down all the way to the bottom, then I'm going to wrap it around the bottom as well. And you could glue that in if you want to at the top. I didn't because it just stayed up there pretty good for me by itself. And then I did glue at the bottom. Next, I just took a piece of cheesecloth and I'm just folding it in half. Then I'm just kind of twisting it up a little bit. And I'm going to attach that right over the top part of that cross. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add my grapevine wreath right on the top part for the crown. Okay, I think this turned out so good. I love this one. It represents the day that Christ died for us, and I'm going to leave this up in my home year round. Let me know what you think. This next one, I got these little tulip cups for $1 at the Bullseye section at Target. Now, if you can't find it, you can put these two together that you can get at Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to paint these with a matte white paint. Next, I got these little plastic eggs at Michael's, and I got some little bamboo skewers. I'm just going to poke a hole in the bottom of them so I can put them on the skewers so that I'm able to hold them to paint them. Just poke a little hole in them and go ahead and put your skewer in there, and that way you can hold it while you paint it. Next, I'm going to take the Folk Art Parisian Gray paint and I'm going to paint this. Now, I took 3 coats to paint this. Now, just FYI, don't try to use your embossing gun to speed up the paint process because I tried it and I melted this one flat. I melted it flat right after I finished. And I'm doing 6 of these. Okay, next I'm going to take some white chalk paint and I'm going to take the end of a paintbrush and I'm going to dip it into the chalk paint and I'm going to put polka dots on all of these. After they dried, I'm going to go ahead and put them in the little cups and I'm going to put some of the reindeer moss in the bottom of the cup and then I'm going to glue that to the cup and then I'm going to put the egg in and glue it in the center. And I'm going to do that to all of them. Now, once I got the one in the egg in the center and glued it in, then I went ahead and added some around it just to kind of hold it straight up. Just kind of fill in around it. Okay, so those were super simple and they are going to look cute on a tablescape and I'll show you at the end how I decorated mine. This next one, I got these 2 carrots at Dollar Tree. They were $1.25. And I'm just going to take a blow dryer to take the tape off the back of them. It's just an easier way to get that peeled off without tearing them up. Go ahead and scuff them up with some sandpaper to kind of get all the sticky part off of them. Okay, next we're going to come up from the bottom 3/4 of an inch and I'm just going to cut the tip of them off so that they are flat. Okay, next I got these wood planks at Dollar Tree. They measure 3 inches by 7 inches and I am going to glue a Jenga block down at the bottom of them. And I'm going to go right up against the edge because this is what's going to attach to the carrot. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other one. And then that's how we're going to attach them at an angle. And then you're going to attach the other one opposite of that at like a V on the opposite side. Just spend a little bit of time on this part, just getting it straight. If that side's dried, we're going to go ahead and attach the other carrot to the opposite side. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put some wood glue on one of the Jenga blocks and attach it down at the bottom. And do the same thing with the opposite side. And then let those dry real well, and then we're going to attach the carrot. Now that that's dry, we're just going to put some glue on the Jenga blocks on the opposite side. And then we're just going to glue it to the carrot. Just kind of lining it up right now, exactly where I'm going to get it. And then go ahead and put your glue on it. And then I'm going to put a little deal of paint on top of it just to kind of weight it down until it dries. Just kind of clean your glue up a little bit. Now that that's all dry, I'm just going to paint the entire thing with the chalk paint in the Adirondack white. I'm going to paint the sides, the basket inside, and everything. Every bit of this is going to get painted. Okay, next I'm going to take some Parisian gray paint and a chip brush, and I'm going to go ahead and distress this entire piece. Just get most of the paint off of your chip brush with your paper towel, and then just kind of distress it. You can distress it as much or as little as you want to. I distressed mine pretty good. Just remember, kind of go light at first, then you can go back in and get it darker. It's easier to put more on than it is to try to get more off. Next, I got these little package of bunnies at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to paint 3 of them with a gray paint. And after they dry, I'm just going to glue 3 of them right to the side of my little basket. Okay, next I'm going to add this little greenery to the center of my basket. Now, I think I got this at Target, but I'm not 100% sure. I've had it for a while, but you could put any kind of greenery that looks like grass. Just kind of measure it up. You just want enough just to go on top. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue this in on both sides of where the Jenga blocks are, but I'm going to put some styrofoam in there in a second as well. Just kind of fitting it in, and then I'm going to take it back out and I'm going to add some styrofoam underneath it. And I'm just taking a round 1-inch styrofoam by 4-inch. I'm going to cut it, and I'm just going to put it down the bottom because I'm going to put some tulips in here. And I'm sorry I'm out of the camera, but it's just pushed down into the bottom. Next, I'm going to go ahead and glue my grass in, and I'm going to glue it on both sides where the Jenga blocks are, and then I'm also going to glue it to the styrofoam. And I'm not going to put a lot on the styrofoam, just a little bit. And then glue the opposite side, and then I had to cut a little smaller piece just to kind of fit in there to finish filling it up. Okay, next I got these tulips on Amazon, and I'm just going to put these in here. I'm putting the ones, 3 of them across the front. I'm going to put those lower, and I'm going to put 3 across the back that are a little bit higher. And just make sure you get it pushed down into that styrofoam well. Otherwise, they're going to kind of lean. See, mine are leaning right now. I'm going to have to push them in a little bit farther. And I'll give you the link for these. You get quite a few of these in a basket. And they offer them in several different colors as well. To give a separation between the carrot and the greenery part of the carrot, I'm just going to take a piece of jute, wrap it around twice, and I'm just going to tie it in a bow. This was a pretty easy project, and you actually could leave this up all spring. And I'm going to do the same thing for the opposite side. And then just put a little bit of glue to hold it in place. Okay, that one was pretty simple. I think it just turned out so pretty. You could actually leave this up pretty much year round. It's so pretty. Let me know what you think in the comments. This is a great way to fold a napkin. If you don't have a one that's square, just fold it in a diagonal and then go ahead and fold that part up. And then you have a square now. And then go ahead and turn it with the point towards you and then just start rolling it up. And then the part that was folded up, you can tuck it in as you're going up. And then just go ahead and fold it in half. And then go ahead and put your egg in the center. And then we're going to take a rubber band to put around the top part. And then all you're going to do is take a ribbon, tie it around it, tie it in a bow, and you're pretty much done. These look really cute on an Easter table. Decorate my table, I'm just going to take a table runner, run it right down the center of the table. It's just a gray table runner I got on Amazon. And then I'm taking some chargers that I got at Hobby Lobby. And then the plate, I'm going to take a plate and I'm going to put the napkin with the egg in it at each place. And then the little tulip that I made with the little egg in it, I'm going to put one of those at each person's place. And then I'm going to grab the basket of tulips that I made, put it right over here, and then I'm going to put a vase of tulips at the other side. And then the little bunnies that I made on the eggs, I'm just going to put one facing each person's plate. And then I got these little greenery planters that I got on Amazon. I'm just going to put 3 of these out on the table. Then I'm going to go ahead and put some Easter bunnies out, some ceramic Easter bunnies. And then I had 2 extra the little eggs. I'm just going to kind of randomly put them inside the tablescape a little bit. And then I'm going to come back in with some greenery and just kind of decorate the rest of it, kind of drag it through. This was pretty simple and it's so pretty. And I would love to hear how y'all decorate your tables for Easter. If you decorate your tables, just leave it in the comments below. I'd love to know what color schemes you use and if you're more neutral or if you're more color. Okay, that's how that turned out. Just something simple. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it.